My blissful gorgeous selves, extremity of peace and joy, our highest development of consciousness, our supreme refinement of life is enlightenment. It is named as Brahm, or Kaivalya, or Nirvana, or Moksha, or Mukti, or liberation, and many more. There are two kinds of enlightenment in Hinduism. One is gradual enlightenment. We can say gradual liberation because you liberate yourself from illusion, hallucinations of life you are living with right now. So in this liberation, your path moves through, means when you die, your path moves through solar system, okay, from sun planet, and you move through pole star, and then there is Swargalok, Mahalok, Janlok, Satyalok. And then going beyond cosmic egg, means Brahmanda, or entering into transcendental world, and they are enjoying every planet for some time. When you go to the state of love trance or Mahabhav, or even if you are just one of the planets, you choose one of the planets to enjoy inner joy and outer joy, then this is called gradual liberation. Means it is known as Krama Mukti. And the second is instant enlightenment. After attaining deepest possible depth of mystic trance due to excess of bliss, electricity of joy, when your body identification evaporates, you are left with your transcendental body, then immediately you are transported to the transcendental plane of existence, or through Brahma Gyan, even if your individual identity is evaporated and you are dissolved into supreme expansion of love trance, and you exist there for longest period of time, then this liberation is called instant enlightenment. Okay? And there are 9 kinds of enlightenment from these two. In these 9 kinds of enlightenment, the past is totally ignored. Only the situation of time, place and feeling at the time of death is checked, and nothing else. If everything is okay, then you are transported to the transcendental plane, attaining which is also enlightenment. It is love enlightenment, or bhakti enlightenment, or para bhakti you can say. Many times, if the past karmas are extremely heavy, the soul of a person is given in the hands of presiding astral being of that sacred place where he chose to reside. Then it depends upon that astral being what procedure he chooses to make you enlightened as soon as possible. He may intensify your karmas so that you can go through them soon, or he may arrange several births in proper place where you might be born and enjoy your past karmas, and during that time you will be receiving ample occasions to live in the company of seekers of God realization. And thus you will have more opportunity to receive inspiration from all around and bring a faster speed in your spiritual progress. This happens when you leave your body in Varanasi, which is also known as Kashi or Vishwanath Puri It is located in the bank of Holy Ganga in the center of India. Thus, such places, times and things become the means of gradual enlightenment. So enlightenment through just residing in one particular place until one's natural death. There are 7 cozy corners in India, my dear friends, where if you have nicely planned to live until death, knowing the time of your death beforehand through Arishtadhyay, then arranging and managing everything very nicely according to the scripture, and then when death occurs, then you attain enlightenment. If you will not be fit for immediate enlightenment, then many disturbances can take place. Either you will not believe it, and doubts may keep crawling under your head, or some such disturbance may happen by which you may have to leave the whole place, the holy place, where you have been living all along. Before death, you will be inspired or pushed and pulled to leave that boundary of place, that border of the place is crossed, and then you die somewhere, then you are fallen. Okay, but then again there is path opened for growth in that life, whatever you will get. Thus, there is ample chances to miss the opportunity. Remaining careful and vigilant of all these mishaps, if you live in nicely planned way during your meditation time or sadhak life, then you can attain enlightenment through sacred place. And the second way is enlightenment through natural death in particular time, just like sacred places have their presiding astral being, so also particular times they do have their presiding caretakers. They take care of the events that happen during those times, and when some fortunate, trusting person living Vedic lifestyle dies in such times, then through the help of that astral being, he attains enlightenment. Such times are fixed by the Vedic history, the chronicles of Vedic history. And when do such times fall, and on which month and which date according to the English calendar should be known through astronomy or the beginning pages of our magazine, If you know your death time through Arishtadhyay and prepare in a way that the time of your death falls upon the cosmic night, which comes in the beginning of spring season, by observing a total fast 24 hours long according to the procedure, then you can attain liberation by the next morning, The same way, you can attain enlightenment through 9 nights festivity, which falls in the beginning of Atman, or 11th day of any fortnight. And there are several other sacred days, powerful days, empowered days. These days are benedicted by the advent of a transcendental being or occurrence of some holy man's enlightenment, and therefore they still carry the influences when that particular time comes. The only condition is you have to be very much acquainted with the Vedic history. Only then you can feel affinity and communication. In such communication, you are extraordinarily helped by these beings of other planes And this is how certain time becomes a means to enter into a state of enlightenment, my dear friends. And the third is liberation through particular thing. If you pick up a shalagram or shivlinga or Sri Yantra or other yantras and worship according to the instruction and following Vedic lifestyle and Hindu lifestyle, then that takes care of everything. Mental projection of the form of transcendental being has to be very deep with a total effort. Even for a moment, do not consider it as a stone or as a sheet of copper. When you have done all you can do, when your quota of effort to imagine and project according to the description, then when it is done, then that transcendental being who has blessed that particular image or deity or the stone, the shalagram, to represent himself begins working upon you through that symbolic stone, and you miraculously begin to grow and grow and grow, and the time comes when you become enlightened. If you cannot find these two blessed stones, then you can get a statue that has been made exactly in the image of God. Then you can perform a worship through particular mantra which has been specifically empowered by the transcendental being of those statue you have. And this mantra should be received from who has done siddha, who has made the mantra siddha, and live a life as great heroes is described in Bhaktamal, okay, as they lived. Then you don't have to bother about anything, or meditation, or philosophy, or hatha yoga, or even any religion, okay. This simple method can do everything for you, and you can become enlightened. If you have been doing all this, then if certain person is dying, then even if he had no spiritual past, if you can place your sacred stone near and dying person attains enlightenment. Don't doubt about it. Don't use your doubting Thomas mind and blunt logic in this connection. Many times you have been fooled and became failure in life with the same logic and intellect. So don't do the same here. This is very important material to understand and to do something serious for your life. Use feeling as instrument to perceive the mystery, okay? Remember, there are many cursed places and cursed things in the world. There are still great unidentified horrors in our scientific world. They are overhead to our scientists. The same way, the sacred stone is also a blessed and benedicted stone, not by human mortal prophet or any gypsy, but by the great transcendental being himself, okay? This sacred stone method was once worldwide accepted. Westminster Abbey's coronation stone and Makkah's holy stone are no other than worshipable symbols of transcendental being. They are remnants of the oldest civilization which was intergalactic. So the holy stones and the statues are means for gradual liberation. The same way Tulsi and Billo and Banyan and water trees are also blessed trees. If you die surrounded by them, you are pushed up to gradual liberation. Let us talk on fourth kind of enlightenment, my dear friends. So this is liberation through specific sound and words. In the field of medical science, discovery of ultrasound is a wonderful invention which has left behind even the X-rays utilities. The new machine of Dr. Christolov's astrosonotem has brought tremendous accomplishment in curing different diseases all over Europe and America. All incurable diseases can be cured through sound vibrations. R for R means a recording for relaxation, and reflection, response and recovery have helped millions of people to solve their physical and psychological problems. Even the deafness and paralysis are cured just by listening to a certain tune called Rag, Jai Jaivanti. So Jai Jaivanti Rag has this qualification. The same way Rag, Puriya can easily cure insomnia. These are all small and petty uses of sound vibration in words. We can attain gradual enlightenment through sound and words. Through the correct pronunciation of mantra, we can create sound waves which move like smoke rings of a cigarette in a windless, still room. Okay? They compose another etheric body within you. They compose transcendental body within you, and at the same time unite you to the transcendental plane through your transcendental body. The appropriate mantra rises above in the space and composes specific form, whomsoever form the mantra belongs to. Okay? Thus, the particular name of God has great power just by chanting or being able to speak out abruptly while sneezing or yawning or getting scared or when fear and horror and danger. In all such occasions, the mantra or holy name of Sri Ram or Sri Krishna or Shankar or Jagan Mata, Mahamaya works tremendously. At the same time, in the time of death, if you happen to chant it or scream it aloud or shout out aloud with the remembrance of his form, then you attain enlightenment. It is said, just singing of the holy name of transcendental being through tremendous push to your life's evolution, and thus you attain God realization and God makes you enlightened. These four methods are called Parasrit Sadhana, involuntary methods. Just like a man can be dead from two reasons, by disease or natural death, by accident or by killed by someone. This is the situation, physical death. In situation of physical death, just like astral world is here, spirits, apparitions and ghosts live in the same world of ours, but unless you die, you cannot live in their world, and you cannot even perceive them from our world unless you are extra sensitive and you are aware of many other mysticism. The death of physical body is required to be in the astral world permanently, my dear friends. In the same way, liberation is already here, already available. God is everywhere, Brahma is all-pervading, truth, absolute truth alone exists, and unless the ignorance is dissipated, you cannot have even a glimpse of it. The same way liberation is always here, but unless death occurs on the level of subtle and causal body, it is not available. With the physical body, you may not be exposed to the astral world. Physical